Hello, I'm financial coach Ruthie, and I'm here with Megan Dole today, and we're talking about student loan debt. Actually, the lack of student loan debt, because she has none. Isn't that exciting? Woohoo! So Megan went to Briarcrest for 1 year, right? And then Trinity Western for 3 years, and you managed to graduate total in 4 years.
Yeah.
That's very exciting. Yeah. So congratulations again.
Thank you.
So I have a couple questions for you about how that journey went and what that looked like. Did you go into university counting the cost before you started?
Not for Briarcrest, but for Trinity, the minute you look at your student statement of what your tuition payments are, it's a little bit overwhelming, and it makes you start to think, what am I going to do? Can I even make it in 4 years? So.
Yeah, for sure. So you looked at that and came up with a plan of what to do for the last 3 years.
Yeah.
That's exciting, yeah. And so in that plan, how much did your parents, or what percentage did your parents contribute to the total cost of that?
So my parents put away an RESP fund, so that covered at least 40 to 50% of the cost, and the rest of it was covered by working in the summers and student leadership grants and just academic scholarships.
That's awesome. And Trinity Western is not a cheap place to go, for sure.
No, it is one of the most expensive private schools in Canada, actually.
Yeah, so that's awesome how much of a cost that is, and that you're able to come out debt free, for sure. And you said you worked in the summers, and what did you do? What kind of work did you do in the summers?
So for the last 3 years, I worked as a summer reading intern for the Westlock Library, and so that came with kids programming as well as like learning customer service skills. So.
And that paid fairly decently, more than minimum wage, you'd say?
So it was covered under the Canada Summer Jobs Program.
Yeah.
So it's the company itself puts in a little bit of money, and then the government covers at least 50%.
Okay.
So I'd say I made at least $8,000 to $9,000 each summer. So
that's pretty good. Yeah, for sure. So a little bit more than minimum wage, then, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that helped as well, for sure. What was the biggest sacrifice that you had to make in order to achieve financial freedom at the end of 4 years?
Looking at it as your school time is go hard, study, and get your work done, and giving up your free time during the summers is the time for work and not for play, which can be a little bit hard to try and wrap your head around, but in the long run it pays off. So,
because a lot of people are like, well, I worked hard all year, I deserve a break, right?
So they'll take it for like going for trips with friends or not working. So
yeah, and you were still able to have fun in the summers even though you were working, right?
Just gotta figure out when you're not working, and your free time is that time to go and make those invest in those friendships with people, and just figure out what you want to do on those days off and make the most of them.
That's right. Yeah, be present on your days off, right, with friends, for sure. What was your biggest motivation to finish, wanting to finish in 4 years instead of taking 6 or 7 years?
I love deadlines, so the idea of them telling us you can finish a degree in 4 years was a good motivator, and that's like, I don't want to be able to draw this out. When you look at how much tuition costs for Trinity, you're very motivated to not want to draw it out.
Yeah.
So just like setting that personal goal for myself of, is it possible to do in 4 years, give or take a couple summer courses.
For sure. So you challenged yourself and said, I want to get done in 4 years, and you did. That's awesome. Did you know that the average percentage of people who graduate from post-secondary in 4 years is about 33 to 40%? So it's not very high, right? And the average for people who graduate in 6 years is 74%. So you're in that smaller percentage, which is great, right? Yeah, you're saving a lot of money by getting done sooner in 4 years, for sure. What kind of scholarships did you get, and how much did that amount to?
So I'd say about $30,000 worth of scholarships came in the last 4 years. So there was student leadership grants and academic scholarships, and then there were a few that were random applications that could apply to the smallest of things, like where are you from? So.
Yeah, for sure. There's so many different scholarships out there. You had mentioned there was 500, I think, at Trinity Western, right? So yeah, that's a lot of different ones that you can apply to, for sure. You were telling me about the Northern Alberta one that you applied for, right?
Yeah, so it's like there's a $2,000 grant available for students that are from Northern Alberta, and they encourage you to look for the most like out of the way scholarships, and you may not think that it's super applicable, And yet I was one of, I think, maybe 5 students who applied, and there's over 4,000 who attended Trinity.
Wow, yeah. So that's awesome. So $2,000 for just writing a small essay or just applying, filling out the paperwork.
Yeah.
Or you could have been working in that to get $2,000, but I think the writing or filling out the form or writing a short little essay probably saved you a lot of time, for sure. That's awesome. What kind of advice would you give high schoolers right now who are just either getting ready to go to post-secondary school or just starting high school?
So first, I would say don't be afraid to push yourself out of your comfort zone. And second, just look for the good summer jobs rather than what would give you the most free time to go and hang with friends. The good summer jobs are going to push you in your skill set, as well as like figuring out, is this something that you want to pursue? Mm-hmm. And what I love so much about doing the kids programming is also the media and communications that was behind it, and not realizing how much it was able to help me in pursuing my degree.
Yeah, I think every little job that you have kind of helps you towards your career, right? It gives you experience and things to work on, right? For sure. So you graduate with 0 debt. That's awesome. Plus you said you had a little bit of savings, right?
Yeah.
So that's also awesome. What do you plan to do with your extra money?
So my goal is to put what I still have for my school fund to put it towards like a master's degree.
Cool. And
then, just looking at like doing a little bit of traveling when everything is loosened up a little bit, and just see where I can go from there.
That's awesome. Yeah. And how do you feel about the stress-free life of being debt-free?
It's nice to be able to look at your plans and not have to factor in like what payments do I need to be making, and just being able to live knowing that like you got it done in a set amount of time, and just get to move on.
You feel that sense of relief. You don't have something like a student loan. You don't have the crushing weight of that sitting on you, right? You have that freedom to make decisions just based on what you're interested in and what opportunity comes available, for sure. Okay, are you ready to scream? Because you're debt free.
I am.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, scream! Whoop whoop! Yay, that's it.